In the headlines, recommendations to authorities on how to help revive the construction sector following the COVID-19 pandemic. Food handlers encouraged to observe physical distancing guidelines. And the Ministry of Agriculture working to expedite payment to farmers doing business with the National Abattoir. I'm Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this.
Giving away $30,000 in cash, oh, yeah. 2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you want to win cash galore.
We Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. And mettez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, a series of recommendations to the authorities on how to help the construction sector bounce back from the COVID-19 impact. President of the Builders and Contractors Association of Dominica says the association has come up with measures which will be beneficial to all parties in the long run.
We have made recommendations as BCAD and as members of DBF, and some of those are: 1, reviewing the legal framework to have both employers and the Social Security assist the employees, but also a way to get it back. It's almost like doing some advance to alleviate the difficulty now, and whether it be over a year or whatever, have the employees slowly pay back. So that the burden is not borne only by the employees, only by the employer, or only by the Dominica Social Security.
BCAD is a strong believer that measures should be put in place to provide psychological help for those who have lost their jobs during the outbreak in Dominica.
Something that people are not speaking about, but the psychological help. A lot of people are going to go through psychological struggles. If you lose your job tomorrow because of COVID-19, you have to deal with the rent, you have to deal with the children, you have to deal with so many things. And it's not very easy. The economy is already not doing very well. It's putting people in a more difficult position.
While not experiencing a drop in projects, there has been a postponement as contractors have taken the stance of staying home to save lives. This delay in construction, though, could lead to increased costs later down the line.
None of our clients resisted when we indicated to them that we're going to have to temporarily stop work until the situation has abated. It's what you call a force majeure, a situation where it's something that's totally out of control, either of the contractor or the client. So clients understand at this point that people have to stay on. It's challenging. All of us have our targets. It means somehow some cost is going to increase for somebody, whether it's the contractor alone, whether it's the contractor and the employer, the client. But it's something we have to live with, and we cannot live with it unless we're alive.
In more top stories, local businesses being encouraged to address the COVID-19 impact from the point of view of risk management. Julian Morris explains.
This is the aim of a template issued by Occupational Safety and Health Institute of Dominica, the OSH Institute, which falls under the Dominica Employers Federation. The institute serves to leverage the benefits of occupational safety and health and how it can work towards the overall efficiency of an enterprise. Executive Director of the DEF, Ashel Joseph, says the OSH Institute is highlighting to businesses different ways in which they can address the COVID-19 crisis from the point of view of risk management.
We've also rolled out a pandemic plan template. It's a template that businesses can use how to address a pandemic as COVID. And it is not limited to COVID. Any other pandemic or even an epidemic that may strike our country, that template that we sent out a few weeks ago can address it. So it have different levels of alert system. What do you do when a particular alert is sounding? When public health say this, what do you do? How do you look at business continuity? How do you safeguard your staff? How do you ensure that information gets to where it's going?
A ham radio program in collaboration with the Dominica Amateur Radio Club Inc., Darcy, to bolster alternative methods of communication within the business community was also one of the projects which started under the OSH Institute.
From a health and safety point of view, we've played a critical role. There's a certain point which we cannot go beyond, and that is the specifics of a particular pandemic. Right now, the whole global response is being led by the World Health Organization, the UN, PAHO, and other areas. So we draw down on their expertise and we sort of see how it's going to impact business, how it's going to impact human resource on the job, what kind of protection we need to put in place for our employees, what kind of protection and risk management strategies we need to put in place for the enterprise. What we do not want is that when this COVID thing subsides, you have half of businesses in Dominica closed. We definitely do not want that. And therefore, the Employers Federation and the OSH Institute speak to those issues.
The Occupational Health and Safety Institute was founded in 2015.
On to education. Changing of teaching styles using online platforms and making policy changes, just a few of the measures being taken by the Ministry of Education to ensure that students do not fall through the cracks during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Permanent Secretary in Education, Chandler Hyacinth, says despite school closure, the education of the country's children will continue. She says for some time now, the ministry has been equipping teachers to deal with such a scenario.
At the end of March, some 5,500 students were accessing the Google Classroom platform. And out of our 1,021 teachers, 800 of our teachers have accessed the Google Classroom. This program is not new to education. Over the years, we have been training our teachers in using these tools for learning. Our summer program by the Dominica Association of Teachers programs by IT Dominica, training through UWI Open Campus since 2016. We have seen over 500 teachers trained in the use of online education.
The Ministry of Agriculture working towards expediting payments to farmers doing business with the National Abattoir. The issue of farmers not being paid in a timely manner was raised with the Permanent Secretary this week. One individual complained on a live radio discussion that she had been waiting for payment for more than 6 months.
So we've recognized that there have been challenges with the rate at which we pay. So the ministry is working as quickly as we can to rectify that situation. But for those that the outstanding payments that we have paid about 80% of that, and we hope to 90%, and we hope to complete by the end of Friday. By Friday, we would have completed the payments for the outstanding amount. So yes, we recognize to the farmer. We recognize that there are challenges, and the ministry is working with the necessary other ministries, etc., to ensure that this is expedited and the process is as seamless as possible as it relates to payment.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Si ou ni maladie HIV et bien maladie sexuelle, si ou pas protéger corps là ou ka ni sexe avec plusieurs monde, ça kay mette la vie ou en gros danger. Ou ka expose tout partenaire au poison et que tant ki ka vini avec maladie. Servi yo condom chaque fois ou ka ni sexe. Changer qui est important pour découvrir maladie à bonheur ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou ni maladie HIV. Prends responsabilité, protéger corps et puis les autres. Examiner corps. Aidez du bout si même maladie HIV et l'autre maladie sexuelle.
With Flow, when I bag our money, cash out. Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
Yo, check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partage l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. And mettez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et vite join Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. A survey of farmers on the cards for the project implementation unit when things return to some level of normalcy. Julian Morris has that story.
The project implementation unit was formed to collate information and subsequently disburse equipment to crop farmers, livestock farmers and fisherfolk under a US $25 million World Bank funded project. To date, several crop farmers have received assistance through this program in the form of various inputs such as fertilizers and tools. During the collection of farmers' biodata late last year, land ownership was seen as one of the main issues affecting farmers' eligibility under the project. Project manager of the PIU, Kevin Stevenson, says upon further analyzing the data, not many farmers had a serious problem with land ownership.
To be honest, we thought it was a bigger problem in terms of we expected to see like something like 500 to 700 farmers unable to apply because of land authorization issues. However, in going out in the field, as I said, we found out that it's around 50 farmers in the north with access to private lands. And with access to public lands, we got around 50 farmers again. Out of the 50 farmers, 10 of them have lease arrangements in place, giving them authorization to use the lands.
Despite the hundreds of farmers who have already benefited from the project and the land ownership issue cleared up, there appears to be fewer farmers than originally anticipated receiving assistance under the program.
As to what are the other factors preventing farmers from participating, that's what we're trying to investigate right now in collaboration with Extension to find out if it's a matter, well, in one particular case, I know, for example, in the Northeast, we have 152 farmers who didn't apply simply for political reasons. They felt that if they applied, they wouldn't have gotten through. So when they now seen farmers getting their package, they're realizing, oh no, we should have applied. We're saying, okay, fine, you can apply, and that's why we're talking about extending the deadline, etc.
The application process has also led to the need to review of the farmer database, which was developed shortly after Hurricane Maria.
For example, in the north, we have on the database after Maria 447 farmers from the north registered. But so far, we have only around 130 plus applicants from the north, with around 100 plus approved. So what is that gap between 440 and 130 that is preventing them from applying? Is it that there are double farms on the database that we need to rectify? So we have two names on the same farm in the database that right now, because we need all the documentation, it's difficult for people for replicating the same documents for applying. So that's what we're going to investigate right now as to what's existing on the database and what we're seeing as the actual demand.
And the Environmental Health Department says the issue of persuading food handlers to adhere to social or physical distancing guidelines remains a major challenge. There is no evidence that the ingestion of food causes COVID-19, but the department says the way some establishments are managed during the COVID-19 pandemic leave a lot to be desired.
If you have a food place and you cannot manage a crowd, you should not be open to the public. Okay, social distancing is very, very critical in these food places, the bakeries and so on, the shops and so on. So we advise people to limit the number of persons entering your stores, your space where you sell your stuff and so on. We also advocate to the public, if you are not well, you are exhibiting any symptoms of the flu, do not go to stand in line to pick up groceries or bread or whatever the case might be. Stay at home. We advise that supermarket owners, store owners, and food places do the marking on the floors where you allow everybody a meter space from each other, proper social distancing. And one thing I must say, we've been to some of those food places, especially that practice the taking out. And these food places, somehow, they must be thinking that when we talk about social distancing, we are only talking to the public and not the workers.
Oh, okay.
My God, what we saw was appalling. People have to do better than that. The staff, the food service workers, social distancing is like non-existence. It was just non-existent for them.
The Chief Environmental Health Officer says management at these establishments must take the responsibility seriously.
I mean, we have to practice social distancing as well. And we cannot be at these food places policing people. Management has to play their role. See to it that the staff, their workstations are a meter apart from each other. And these people are not thrown together in one room like ants trying to get out of a nest. That's the best way I can put it. Social distancing is not just for the public, it's for everybody. And whether you work at a food establishment, at a bakery, you have to practice social distancing. That is what will help us take care of the COVID-19 that we are talking about.
Avec Flow, gagner l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagner l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. Animez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, every video join Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
With Flow, when a bag of money cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
Yo, check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
To end the news, the headlines again. Recommendations to authorities on how to help revive the construction sector following the COVID-19 impact. Food handlers encouraged to observe physical distancing guidelines. And the Ministry of Agriculture to expedite payment to farmers doing business with the National Abattoir. Feel free to access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us next time.